Hey, what's going on, everybody? Manny here once again. Welcome to DFS Zone. I have a new video for you guys, like always here. But before I get started, I appreciate you guys drop a like. If you're new to this channel, it's your first time here, you just stumbled upon it, hey, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. If you're looking for NBA content, information to help you make decisions on your lineups, you may use some of the players that I pick. You may be also find value in some of the players I mentioned that I also going to have exposure to. Then you can definitely do that. The only thing you need to do to be a part of all that and get that information on a regular basis is to become a subscriber to the channel. So if you haven't done so already, it's your first time here, make sure before you go, you subscribe down below. And don't forget to put on your post notifications, that bell icon, turn it on, so this way you don't miss out on any of my new uploads. When I upload NBA videos pretty much the entire week, except for Sundays until pretty much the NFL season is over. Then I'll definitely be doing some more NBA. All right, with that being said, today is Tuesday. It's October the 29th, 2019. Only a 3-game slate in the association today. 3-gamer. One thing to always point out, if you heard from me before in the past, if you've been with me long enough, is that a 3-game slate, everybody's available. There are a lot of little options. There's not a whole lot, a ton of value here today. Not a lot of injury news that will be significant as far as getting value. But anything can open up from here to the end of the day. So you got to always remember that. This is pretty much always early on that I'm looking at stuff. If I make any changes, I may mention it on the YouTube in the comment section of this video at the end of the day. If I feel that I'm changing anybody, I'll either sometimes tweet it out as well. So keep in mind of all that. So again, anything can happen. All right. All right. So before we get started, first things first, I always like to give a recap. So as you know, last night I gave you guys 5 plays: Westbrook, Hart, Ingram, Horford, and Jokic. And to be honest, the only one who went off and had a great night that would have been good for cash, especially for the cash game players and GPP players, would have been Ingram. Westbrook would have been good, decent for cash. For GPP, he didn't put up a whole lot, 46.9 fantasy points. So he was a little bit of a dud for me. I was expecting more from him. The one who had the bigger game was Harden. Go figure. The day I don't choose Harden, Westbrook goes off. Ingram had the 52. Josh Hart only 22 fantasy points here on Fanduel. That was definitely a bummer. He was 7 points below value, so for his price point. So then again, he did not turn out to be a good play. Horford was pretty balanced. He was close to value. Would have been good for cash. He's always going to be pretty steady, so he's always someone you can consider for cash that has a little bit of upside. And then of course Jokic, you can definitely play him for cash. Last night, poor shooting night for him. I expect him to have a bounce back night tonight because he's on a back-to-back. And he shot poorly last night. We'll discuss that more when we get to center in today's slate. Other pieces of news, if you guys are still wondering about the streaming, I will be streaming soon. I'm still just setting up a few things, going about how I'm going to lay out some stuff on the stream, because I want it to be like, different sessions, different little segments in the show. And as soon as I get that down packed, I will definitely start streaming. And and my intentions with the stream is to run for about 45 minutes to an hour to start. This is on twitch.tv/DFS Zone. So if you haven't gone there already and become a follower, sign up. It's free to open up an account, and just make sure you drop a follow at DFS Zone, and also put on a notification when I go on live. I'm gonna definitely notify everybody here prior to anyway. So when I'm ready to go on that, I will mention it on that prior video of the day before. Other than that, the other thing also, we started yesterday, the new drawing for the week. We had a winner last week. That individual asked me if I was willing to give them a player pool instead of a line for GPP and cash, and I told them that was no problem. So again, I'm gonna leave that open to you guys. I mean, I want to give back to those who follow the channel, who support the channel, always involved, always interacting with me in previous live videos when I did them on YouTube or here on the comment section. Whatever you choose, at the end of the week, the drawing will be drawn, and if you elect that you want, a player pool, I'll set up a player pool for you each day for 1 week. That's what you're getting for 1 week. If you prefer to have the lineup, then I'll give you a lineup according to what you want, GPP or cash, and I'll give you a lineup, and maybe possibly, like I said yesterday, I'll probably throw in there 2 lineups because I do multiple lineups. And that's pretty much it. That drawing is weekly. If you want to be involved and you want to be able to get an opportunity to get that draw, to win either the line or the player pool, the only thing you have to do is drop a like on this video. Make sure you comment down something down below on this video, and at the same time make sure that you are subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, and that basically is all you need to do. I'll do the drawing on Sunday. Monday I'll announce it, and for 1 week you'll be able to have that option. That's me giving back to you guys for all the support, which I greatly appreciate. All right, and that's pretty much it, man. Let's get to this 3-game slate. So just a little bit of news I wanted to get out of the air. Okay, we go to the top here. We go to point guard, and at point guard today, for me, I'm pretty much point guard through small forward, through power forward. I am going to select the same guys for DK as well as Fanduel. Okay, the only difference will be on DK, I have a different center because there's power forward center eligible on DK, so DraftKings will have a different center from Fanduel. That's the only difference. Other than that, the players are still the same all the way throughout. At the top, I like Luka Doncic for today's game. I like the matchup. You know, we know Jamal Murray is not a great defender, you know. So it's going to be a tough go for him. But Luka Doncic has been absolutely wonderful. As you can see, 29 points per game, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. He's averaging 55 fantasy points per game at 10,004. You need pretty much 52 to me value. If you want him to smash and play him on a GPP, you need about 8 to 10. I always say 8 to 10 more fantasy points. So you need him to get at least 62, 63, and we know he's capable of it. As you can see, he has 62-point upside. He has 55 plus, 49 plus in 3 straight games, which is pretty darn nice. That's pretty close to that 10,400 mark. And as you can see, he's playing maximum minutes, 33 to 37 a game, and he's actually scoring 25 points or better from the floor. He has had also, as you can see, 2 double-doubles, 1 triple-double, and he was close to another double-double. So he does it all, man. He is going to get it. With him and KP in the lineup, both of them are going to they're going to get a ton of usage. We know that. He's one of the key players there. Not only that, is that in this particular matchup, he has the better matchup. So I like Doncic here today for sure. He's shooting 50% from the floor thus far, 31% from 3, and he's averaging about 19, I would say close to 19 shots a game. Okay, from the floor only. And he's taking about 9 threes a game thus far this year in 3 games. That's like his average. So he's shooting the ball 28 to 30 times a day. A game. So he is definitely getting up a lot of shots. He's going up against Denver, and as I said, Jamal Murray, not the greatest defender. So I mean, it's definitely a great matchup for him as far as head-to-head. He should be, for what I say, it should be easy peasy. Luka Doncic, Denver has been allowing 40.8, pretty much almost 41 fantasy points to opposing point guards thus far. After 3 games, they gave up 48.8 to Lillard and 33.2 to Ricky Rubio over the course of the last 2 games. So I like Doncic a lot here. This is a great matchup against Denver. Denver is a good defensive team, but they struggle always in the backcourt, especially with good shooting, skillful point guards like Luka Doncic. All right. So he's in there. He's the point guard for today. Other guys to watch out for in this 3-game slate. Quinn Cook could be someone to consider. He's in my player pool right now. He's someone that I'm keeping an eye on. If he ends up, Rondo doesn't play and they play and we slate him, they slate him in to be the starter, or we know that he's gonna play at least 20 minutes or better. He could be a fine play at 4,100. Ja Morant is another guy that I'm looking for. He played very well in his last game, 32 minutes, 30 points from the floor, 48 fantasy points. He's starting to get going. Remember, he was the number 2 pick. He is expected to do very well in this league with his skill set, and he hasn't played well until his last game. He may just be turning it around just in time here. So he's someone that you can consider here today. And I also keep an eye on Steph Curry. Steph Curry's brother has been getting about 19, 20 minutes a game. He's at 3,800. So he could be a nice little value play here today as well. All right. At shooting guard. At shooting guard at the top, we got Jimmy Butler, man. JB is back. He is definitely someone that I have my eye on, but more so on DraftKings because he's a lot cheaper on DraftKings, almost $2,000 cheaper. So Jimmy Butler is definitely in play. But I'm going here with Danny Green. Danny Green I'm going to go with. Memphis has had a little bit of issues with shooting guards, just a little. LA has done the same. I just feel Danny Green, just as far as minutes, as far as him starting and getting the minutes, he's getting 25 or better. He's averaging 14 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. He's averaging 28 fantasy points at 5,500. You need about 27, 28, and he's averaging that right now. As you can see, he has 40-point upside. He got a 45 spot against the Clippers in the first game of the season. Definitely has been on a downward trend, but I believe this is a game that he can definitely bounce back in. He saw, first things first, Memphis Memphis in this is right now currently the second highest paced team in the league, and the Lakers are probably the best team as far as slowing down the game. They don't like to be fast. Okay, so something's got to give. Either the Lakers are going to play up to to the Memphis Grizzlies style of play, or we're going to have ourselves a game where Memphis is going to eventually, the Lakers are eventually going to pull this one out with keeping this game and slowing it down. But Danny Green, he is good at the paced up kind of game. I do like him a whole lot here, just only for that. His shooting, 47% from the floor and 52% from three so far after 3 games, with averaging 5 rebounds and 1 assist. He's also been taking about 16 shots a game. He's taking 10 from the floor and 6 from 3. So he is definitely involved in the offense. And as long as he continues to do that and he buries them at that rate, he should be able to get 25 to 30 fantasy points here. So he could be a pretty good, solid cash play today in this 3-game slate. And he can be someone you can consider in GPP because he can get you, as you can see, he has the upside that he can get you 40. The Grizzlies are allowing a whopping 42.5 fantasy points per game to opposing shooting guards. They're struggling there. This is a great opportunity if he can get himself going. Thus far this year, Hero put up 30, Levine put up 60, and Karis LeVert of the Brooklyn Nets put up 37. So he only needs 30, and he has a 40-point upside. Danny Green is definitely someone you can consider. On my watch list, I do like also Malik Beasley. Watch out for him, 3,700 for the Denver Nuggets today. And Dylan Brooks is another one that I'm looking at for the Memphis Grizzlies at 4,700. He's been playing quite a bit of minutes too and being productive. So you have some options there, all right? At small forward, and that's the same. Danny Green is also in my Fanduel lineup, and on Fanduel, just to let you know, I forgot, 4,400 is his price tag. He's been averaging 27.9 fantasy points per game on DK, and he's averaging 22. That for 4,400, he needs to bring in 22, and he's averaging 27.9. So he is definitely a good play there as well. That's why I have him locked in there on both on DK. Over here at the top, small forward, you can go James. I'm going to have some lineups with LeBron James. You have to at least give it a shot with either him or AD and at least one lineup or two. So LeBron is in play. There's no doubt about it. You know, LeBron is LeBron, and he's capable of getting you 40 or 50. I do like Anthony Davis better at his price point, especially at DK. I think he's at 10,003, which I'll get to. But he has small forward on FanDuel. I'm going to go Willie Barton. It's just the upside. He's capable of getting 40 points. He hasn't been shooting the ball particularly well. You know, that's the only concern with Willie. But other than that, we know Willie Barton is capable of getting all the defensive peripherals. That's what he brings to the board. As you can see, he can get you the blocks and the assists. The blocks and steals. And that's important. You know, 12 points, pretty much 5 rebounds a game, nearly 2 assists a game, averaging 27 fantasy points at 5,000. You need 25. So he's actually below his price point, and he's playing more than 29 minutes in 2 out of the last 3 games. If he shoots well and he defends, they're going to leave him on the court. If he gets hot from shooting, you can forget about it. He can get you 40, 45. So he's a great GPP play, a little risky in cash, but I think you can play him in cash today at 5,000. Willie Barton is not too bad. Again, he has to shoot well. He hasn't been shooting well. His numbers so far this year after 3 games, 32% from the floor and 36% from 3. Those are not good numbers for Willie Barton, and he's getting enough shots. He's taking 10 to as much as 11 shots a game between the floor and threes. So, but like I said, defensively, he can get you those extra points, and that's the reason why here he was able to at least get 17 here in 20 minutes without shooting well, because he got three blocks and a steal. So he's capable of doing that. And that's what's good about Willie Barton. So Willie Barton in play for me here at $5,000. He is also in play on DK. On DK, he is $4,600, so he's $400 cheaper. You only need 23 to meet value there, and he's averaging 26.6 DK points. Guys to watch out for, DeAndre Bembry is someone I'm considering in my lineup for 4,200. Jay Crowder obviously is in play for me as well at 5,600. He with Memphis with that paced up game is good for him. He spreads the floor. He likes taking threes, and he's also a banger. He'll get you rebounds down low. He's going up. Barton is going up against Dallas. Dallas versus small forwards have been allowing 28.3 fantasy points per game thus far. They gave up 34 to Ronnie Hood, 31 to Drew Holiday, which is not too bad. And then Bonga put up 20 against them in one of the games. So Willie Barton in play. Power forward, At power forward at the top, you got Anthony Davis. Like I said, I will have exposure to the Laker players. I don't think I'm gonna pair both of the guys up, but if I see enough wiggle room in this slate, I will definitely try to get at least a lineup in where I have AD and LeBron. But this is gonna probably be a little tough. But again, I like Anthony Davis a whole lot on DK. But over here on FanDuel, I'm going to go to Bam, man. Bam Adebayo has been playing really lights out. He's here at power forward on FanDuel. They have not made the change yet. He's been pretty much been starting for the Miami Heat, and I like him there as a starter in the Miami. He deserves it. He is definitely starting to build his skill set up, and he's becoming a more solid player. He is power forward and center eligible on DK, but here on FanDuel, I'll take him at 7,800, and he pretty much 38 to me value. He's averaging 15 and 11, so he's a double-double almost pretty much every night, and he's capable of getting some passes. He has 5.5 assists. He's averaging nearly 40 fantasy points per game. The minutes are there. Last 2 games, 38 or better. As you can see, he has had 2 out of the 3 games where he's had a double-double. He missed a double-double in his last outing against Minnesota. 43 spot or better in 2 of the last 3 games, so he's definitely trending upward. This is a great spot for him, Bam Adebayo. During that stretch, 15 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. He has been taking 9 to 10 shots a game from the floor, of course, near the paint. That's where he does his best work. He brings solid defense. As you see, he can definitely block the ball. 4 blocks and 3 steals over the first 3 games. He's going up against Atlanta. They are almost near the bottom in defending centers thus far this year. 41.5 fantasy points per game to opposing centers thus far this year. They gave 49 to Drummond, 33, which is a low number for Vucevic. Didn't play a whole lot of minutes. And Embiid put up 64 on them. So, again, Bam is not in the same, I would say in the same category as a Drummond or Embiid, but he is capable, as you can see, to put up 43 and 44 against Minnesota. This is against Karl Anthony Towns, and 46 against Milwaukee with Brook Lopez. So I think he has a great shot here to be able to do some work against the Atlanta Hawks and Alex Len. That's just the way I look at it. So Bam is in play. Other than Bam, on my watch list, not a whole lot. I do like Brandon Clark a little bit at 5,500. I'll be looking at him. Maxi Kleber is someone to consider at 4,900. If Powell does not start, is not back and ready to go for the Dallas Mavericks today, Kleber is going to get his minutes again, and I think he's a solid play at 4,900. But if Powell plays, it's going to definitely bring down some minutes on Maxi, so he may be someone you might want to actually fade at that point in time. All right, and of course, here on FanDuel, I prefer Anthony Davis over Kristaps Porzingis, so definitely Anthony AD is definitely in play for me here. The only thing is he's 12,003. I'd rather try to slate him in there in the DK, but I will have him in a lineup here. I'm just saying for main core, probably not for me on FanDuel, but on DK, yes. Okay, at center. On FanDuel, I'm going right back to the well. I'm going with Jokic. He's the best center on the slate. The only thing that concerns me is I would love to see the Dwight Howard. Now, Howard is on my list. He's on my watch list. He's on my player pool. If he is to start, and we know he's going to start, there's a good chance he'll play 25 to 28 minutes. And then I'll definitely like Dwight Howard at 5,300 because I think he could get me that 1 point per minute that I'm looking for, especially for cash play. And I'm not a cash play player. I'm hoping that he just exceeds that, gets me 35 to 40, and definitely becomes a great play for me for GPP. But he'll be a nice cash play if he starts and plays 25 to 26, 28 minutes. He can get you 1 point per minute. Jonas Valanciunas, the same thing, 6,200. You need 31, but his thing is he's averaging, as you can see, 26.5, almost 27, and he doesn't play a whole lot of minutes, but he is definitely a 1.1, 1.2 point per minute player. If he can get 25, if we can know that he's going to get 25, until I see that, it's hard for me to take Jonas Valanciunas. But it is a 3-game slate. I don't see no reason why not slapping him in there, throwing him in there in 1 or 2 lineups if you do multiple lineups. But Jokic here, bounce back game. He shot poorly last night. He's on a back-to-back, but he is got all the tools compared to everybody else that's on the slate. And I don't think Dallas has Powell or anybody's going to be able to stop him if he gets himself going. If he shoots better from 3 and shoots better from the floor, he's going to be just fine. So Jokic at 10,700. He's my play here on FanDuel. He's averaging 17 points. And like I said, he had a poor game last night, but 10,700. You need 53, and we know he's capable of doing that. He's trending a little bit downward, but 17 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, 43.7 fantasy points per game. He had a bummer last night, only 9 points, 13 rebounds in 28 minutes. He didn't shoot well. Plain and simple. He shot last night, to put it down here, 26% from the floor, 4-15, and he shot 5 shots from 3, didn't hit 1. So he definitely had a bad night, but as far as shooting wise, but overall, everything else he did fine. He defended, he got a block, he got 2 assists, 13 rebounds. If his shots would have been down, he would have scored 50 plus last night. He would have definitely smashed it. So I expect him to have a bounce back game here today against the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks, not a whole lot of points to centers. 26.4 fantasy points per game through 2 or 3 games. The last 2 games, Bryant put up 28 and Favors 25. So granted, that was Bryant and Favors. You cannot compare those 2 guys with Jokic, who has a lot of skills. I mean, a guy that drives to the basket, can rebound, can shoot threes, can shoot from the floor, he's a great free throw shooter, and a good defender. I mean, you know, he has all the tools at center to be the top dog. So, yeah, I don't see that as a great matchup at all. I think it's a great matchup for Jokic. I don't think it's a great matchup for the Dallas Mavericks with Powell or whoever else they put KP up front. The watch list here for centers today, Dwight Howard, like I said already before, I have him on my player pool right now. If we know for a fact he's going to start, he's going to play 25 minutes or better, I will have exposure to Dwight Howard at that price tag. And you can go to Valanciunas, like I said, at 6,200. You need 31. It'll be great if he gets 25 minutes, but he's been averaging 19, 20 minutes. I think 18, 19 minutes. You could go Alex Lynn and save a bunch of money and hope that Lynn plays more than enough minutes and does well enough against Bam, you know, in that Miami game, because Atlanta needs somebody to bat. Adebayo is a pretty athletic guy. You know, he's lanky, he's strong, so they're going to need Alex Lynn down there. You can possibly go to Alex Lynn and then utilize that savings somewhere else. All right, and that's basically it on DK. On DK, my center is Anthony Davis. It's plain and simple. He's 10,300. You need 51 to 52 to meet value. He's averaging 51 already, DK fantasy points, averaging 32 minutes a game, 25 points per game, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, averaging 3 blocks and 1 steal per game since starting the season. 49 plus fantasy points in 3 straight games, and his last game he put up a 57 spot. He's shooting 44% from the floor and 33% from 3, and he's going up against Memphis. Memphis has only been allowing 25.3 fantasy points per game to power forwards, and they gave up 29.7 to Bam and 25 to Marketing, which is not too bad, not too shabby at all. I just think it's definitely a tough matchup when you have a guy that can not only score, hit threes, rebounds. He works. He's very good in the paint, and on top of that, he's a pretty decent free throw shooter, and he gets you all the peripherals. All the defense is there for Anthony Davis. You're going to get some blocks almost every game, and you're going to get at least a steal, maybe even 2. So I like that. I think that in DK today, if you could get yourself Anthony Davis and Jokic in your lineup, you're not too bad, because you're getting guys there that are a double-double and possibly triple-double, possibilities there, and they're going to get a lot of those extra peripherals, the steals and the blocks. Between those 2 guys, you can really rake up the fantasy points. And that is pretty much it. That's where I'm at for today, man. So, guys, again, last night, not a great night. It's a losing night for me. Hopefully you guys didn't play. If you play some of the lines, the 5 players I gave you yesterday, hopefully you had some better guys or surrounding those players, and you were able to cash. But again, part of the game here, man, is that you get a chance to do it all over again. For me, it's not a big deal. It's my second loss of the year. Hey, I didn't make no cash last night. Get refocused. Come out here today and try to get something done today to be more fair. And that's the key, is to be consistent. The bottom line at the end of the day, just like any team, any pro team, anybody who plays sports, even an individual sport, you want to be consistent winner. So it's about getting better at it, and you're going to take some losses. And winning comes losing, and with losing comes winning. So remember, we have to learn from everything, all right? And nothing's guaranteed. Most important, I haven't said it yet this year, but I tell you guys time and time again in the past, last year, nothing's guaranteed. There's no magic, recipe or any magic pill to be a great DFS player and win hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars a year. Not everybody's going to do it. If you win 100K in 1 year, man, and you do it one time, that is a great year. That is it, plain and simple. That's what I'm aiming for. Let me win a 40K. Let me win 100K. Let me win a $1 million event. And, that's a productive year. But at the meantime, if you're playing small little hands, little cash game, you want to just build your bankroll and just be able to be in a position where you're doing that much better the next day as far as playing. That's basically it. All right, guys. I wish you guys a lot of luck, man. Again, drop a like on the video. Comment down below if you want to be a part of the drawing next week. You either could get a player pool if you so choose, or if you choose to have a line, I'll give you 2 lineups that I'm looking at per game, per day for a week. Totally free. That's me giving back to you guys. Again, I appreciate the support. And that's basically it. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on your post notifications. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good luck.